New home sales increase. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee. We're going to have a look at some new data from the HIA about home sales. And, well, they've increased again, everyone. There we go. I'll press the right button. That might help. So new home sales. And let's jump here and have a look at the data from Trading Economics. Now, Australia's new home sales rose by 5.8% month over month. And we can see here that they're steadily climbing back up again. But what's important is if we go down here, we have a look at what the actual data is compared to what was forecast. So if we go back to May, the month before that was a 54% crash in new home sales, and Trading Economics was forecasting 7% decline, but it actually went up 15.2%. And then the following month, Trading Economics forecast 20% growth, but it went up 14.8%, so they're off the mark there. Then they're predicting 13%, and it went down 20.5%. Then they predicted a decrease of 9%, and it's up 5.8%. So it shows you it's a bit, they're not having much luck here at Trading Economics to forecast the new home sales data. And let's have a look here at this extract from the HIA. So, new home sales remain strong in August. Detached home building boom to be sustained. Now, the question was, if we look at building approvals, everyone, where is it? Here it is. You know, it's heading back down again. It peaked. And a big part of that was because of this little program here, the Home Builder. You know, that drove a whole lot of those building approvals. It brought future work forward. It pulled it to now. The question is, are we going to see a decline to below normal levels? You know, if we business confidence. No, hang on. If we look at just the trend of going right back to 2006, look at that line there, the light blue line with the private sector houses. Now, are we going to go significantly below that because projects have been brought forward, or is this just encouraging people that were not ready to enter the market to do it now? And will we get back to that 7,500 to 10,000 band of houses being constructed? That's the question. That's what we need to think about if we're planning ahead. Because, you could be all busy, all gung-ho, but then if it drops off a cliff, well, it's probably going to be worse than if it just was going normal ahead, at least in your business or practice. So the strength of new home sales in recent months indicates that the boom in detached home building will continue to create strong employment opportunities into the second half of 2022. New home sales remained strong in August, albeit not at the record levels observed prior to the end of Home Builder in March 2021. Sales in the 3 months to the end of August 2021 were 15.5% lower than the same time in 2020. A more reasonable time frame for comparison is with sales in the same period in 2018 and 2019 before the adverse impact of COVID-19 and the stimulus from Home Builder. In the past 3 months, sales were 15.4% higher than at the same time in 2019 and 4.5% higher than at the same time in 2018. And, well, one would have to argue that perhaps this could be because money is so cheap right now. It's so cheap. And houses, well, the banks love houses. Everyone loves houses. There's supply issues with getting existing houses. So, at the same time, in 2019, 4.5% higher than at the same time in 2018. So there you go. The strength in sales of new detached homes is likely due to increased household savings during the pandemic. Well, I mean, just think about that. All the people who've been complaining about how hard it is to get into property, how hard it is to save a deposit, suddenly, well, when they're forced to save, they're able to build up a deposit. I think for some people, it's the first time they realize just how much money you piss away on these things, guys. There's a lot of stuff that you buy that you waste money on, little stuff. I mean, for me, it was doing the micropayments off the mortgage. Once I had everything else cleared, every time I'd have $5, I'd save here, $10, I'd save here, even $3. I'd just chuck all these tiny amounts off the mortgage. And then all of a sudden you start realizing, wait a minute, that's an extra week's repayment in that month, all from stuff that I wouldn't even notice. And it's the same thing when, honestly, I wonder if the trend to work from home might actually flow through into increased house prices. Think about it. When you work from home, there's all these costs you don't need. You can, do you even need to dry clean your suit as much? I'm pretty casual, as you can see, and I lasted in the suits for about a week wearing it on video. But, that's a cost you don't need. Travel is reduced. Eating out is reduced. You don't need lunches. Even if you bring packed lunches, it's a pain. It's much easier just to have some leftovers from a big pot of food. All these savings add up. And where do savings go in Australia? I'll have a shot of coffee and you answer in the comments. It'll be housing, won't it? So, there's also been a switch in market preference towards lower density homes as working from home becomes entrenched. And I don't think that's going to change. I don't think we're going to see a move away from working from home. One of the lessons you learn in life, what's more important than money is control over your schedule, control over your time. And if working from home gives you that, I think a lot of people will leap at that opportunity. A lot of people will want to avoid going back day to day. Don't get me wrong, there's still going to be demand for commercial spaces. There's still going to be people going to the office. I think there's going to be greater flexibility. People may go 1 or 2 days in the office, the rest at home office. In the 3 months to August 2021, Western Australia led the pack, up by 60% compared to the same quarter in 2019. 60%! What is going on in WA, guys? Followed by New South Wales, up 28.1%, Victoria 6.7%, Queensland was down 1.5%, and South Australia down 15.2%. Now, this is an extract, a sample from their new home sales data that the HIA put out. And I will link to that if you want to go through the entire report. I used to get their magazine, actually. To be quite frank, for someone who doesn't do much housing, I enjoy the HIA stuff. I guess that's just, my father was a builder and a building designer, so that's why I got to see it all. So guys, what's the solution or the takeaway from this one? Well, it looks like if this continues, there may be some robustness in the detached housing sector moving forward. I still would be a bit careful with those long-term business commitments and those luxury purchases if you're in the building game and depending on this sector. I'd take it easy. I wouldn't go a bit too crazy. I wouldn't be too excited. But I guess that's just a general rule of thumb. What do you think, everyone? Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. How are you finding it in the housing sector? Now, apartments and detached dwellings might be a different kettle of fish. As always, thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one in the comments down below. If you're a fan and enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. Use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy our merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.